I've always known that the only reason we stress or even feel bad about ourselves or about our lives is because we set tasks and expectations on ourselves that we don't get to meet. In other words, you promise yourself to carry out this task or do that thing which you believe is going to get you something you like or something you want out of life, but you never actually get to do that thing, and then it becomes a limiting factor. It contributes to the vicious cycle of you remaining stuck in your place. Because I've also known that the more of those we set on ourselves, the more we're actually limiting ourselves. The more of those tasks and expectations you set on yourself, the worse you're gonna feel, so long they remain unfulfilled. You know, it's like when I get a video idea and I decide to film it at a specific time and then I don't get to do it. And I start feeling so bad about it because I know deep down that I could have done something, that I still have something to do which could have contributed to my dream reality. And as such, the more of those you set, the worse you're gonna feel. Because deep down you know that unless that you can't possibly have that which you seek unless you do the things that you believe are required to have that thing. You know deep down that once you have that set as part of your belief system, you cannot have it unless you meet those intricate details of your belief system. And so you keep feeling worse and worse about it, and then as a survival reaction, as a survival mechanism, out of the need to cope with that feeling, you start thinking, well, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I need more of those tasks. Maybe I need more of those expectations. Maybe I need to raise my standards higher. And then you do just that. You raise your standards higher. You set more vicious expectations on yourself, which you don't get to meet. And then they become more and more of limiting conditions between you and that thing you seek. And the question is, are those really necessary expectations, or are we just setting unmeted and unrequited expectations on ourselves to feel better? Because then you're just because you're not having that thing, just because you're desperate, you start thinking, well, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I need to do more to get there easier, to get there faster. And that's exactly what you do. And that's exactly what your reality becomes. You know, it's like you're treating yourself. I feel that this is us treating ourselves the way the school system has been treating us, the way an authoritarian figure has been treating us, the way a society rooted in competition has been treating us. You know, unless you do this thing, you don't get a reward. Unless you get the best grades, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna become successful. Unless you do this or that, you're not gonna have what you want. You're gonna get rewarded if you do this. You're gonna get punished if you do this, if you do that, if you don't do this, if you don't do that. And that's what we've been doing to ourselves time after time. But what we don't know is how everything changes when we understand that the ego is simply not designed to figure out everything on itself. That the ego is not meant to figure out a solution for each and every problem we face. And that the more we remain thinking that we need to carry out a task, that we need to be doing something, if whenever you allow yourself some downtime, if whenever you allow yourself to just sit and do nothing, to stop doing anything, to sit idle and just enjoy life for itself, for life, you start getting that crippling anxiety, then it means that you are still dealing with limiting conditions. Then it means that you still believe that you cannot have that thing unless you do this thing. You're always thinking, your body is anxious because it thinks that I need to do this, I need to do that, otherwise I'm gonna miss out on that thing. It's the fear, it's action out of fear of missing out. It's out of the fear of not making it, fear for yourself. And then you start setting as a way to cope, then you start creating more and more of those limiting beliefs. You start formulating more beliefs that tells you, that state that those you need to do this and that in order to have that result. And that's how you feel better about yourself. Then then it becomes reasonable. Yeah, I'm not there yet because I need to carry out all of those tasks. But this is as if you're telling life, telling the universe, telling God that I don't want to have that thing yet, because unless I do those things, I don't want this thing yet. It's still in the future. It's never in the now. You're never told yourself that I deserve this now. You're always setting more and more steps between you and your dream reality. It's as if you've created a pact with your energy being, that you don't want life to give you that thing, that you don't want that thing out of your life, out of your karma, out of your energy, unless you do those things. And so you're always setting more and more steps between you and that which you seek, and that's how you're limiting yourself. That's how you remain stuck. But what you don't know is that what happens is that how everything changes once you finally feel completely fulfilled, once you stop feeling as if you still need to take more action to get there faster, or to get there easier, or to even get there altogether. Once you actually, whether it's through fulfilling all of the tasks and expectations you set upon yourself, or whether it's through actually eliminating them altogether, because they're not necessary when you're creating from a field of energy. When you're creating as pure conscious energy, you manifest what you are, you manifest your beliefs, you manifest what you assume out of life, what your vibrations are. And once you understand this, and you stop setting limitations on yourself, which is setting limitations on God, you cannot give me that thing unless I do all of those steps. That's exactly what you're doing. That's the energy pact you're formulating, you're creating. I don't need those things yet, because I did not do the necessary steps to have those things. But once you release that, once you reach to a place, whether, like I said, through fulfilling those tasks or eliminating the need for those expectations altogether, and you stop feeling as if you need to be doing anything more in order to get there, in order to have your dream reality, it actually happens. You know, this reminds me of the time, I remember this time when, it's a simple example, but if you observe closely, you're gonna see it in each and everything around you. You try it, you have to try it for yourself, you can witness it firsthand. But I'll share this with you. You know, there was this video, and then it was a while ago, it was a very long time ago actually, but after I posted it, it was not getting any clicks. You know, I knew that I've shared so many valuable information and things in this video, and I wanted it to reach as many people as possible, but not many people were clicking on it. And so it got me frustrated, and then I was just, out of desperation and frustration, I was changing the title and changing the thumbnail. Maybe this is gonna click with more people, maybe this is gonna make more people relate to it and click on it, and this and that. I just wanted it to reach as many people as possible, because I believe that I shared lots of valuable information in it. And then I changed it like, I don't know, 5 times, the topic or the video title or the thumbnail, between this and that. I kept changing some of them, and then nothing was happening. And then finally I was like, what am I doing? You know, it's gonna reach the people it's meant to reach. And then I said the topic which I believed portrays what the video is actually about the most. And it was just like, the title was just exactly like the first title I chose for the video. It just had like 1 or 2 words different from the first title I chose for the video, because I believed it conveys the meaning that, or the value that this video is gonna, you know, convey better than any other title. So I just said this, and I just said that I'm gonna set the title out of pure honesty and nothing more, and the thumbnail, whatever it was, and I'm just gonna leave it, and that's it. I was like, what am I even trying to do? It's gonna reach the people it's meant to reach. And then so I felt this calmness, I felt this relief that I've done everything that I could have done to make it work out, you know, simply because I've released it. I've released the steering wheel, I've released it from my ego. There's nothing more for me to do there, because I've shared what I could share, and I've written the most appropriate title, and that was it for me. That was all of it for me on my part. The rest is for the universe. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it was just 2 words different from the first title I chose for it. It popped out, you know, it reached, suddenly it started getting so many more clicks, you know, and it got like, I don't know, like 2,000 or 3,000 views compared to the typical 200 or 300 views I used to get at that time. And that's what happens when you release the steering wheel from your ego, when you realize that you've done everything on your part, and now you could release it to the universe. As long as you're holding on to it, I need more to do with this, I need to control it, I need to do this and that to have that thing to perfect it, the more you're setting the more steps you're setting between you and the results and the reward of that thing which you actually seek. And that's how you remain stuck. But once you release it, once you find that place of relief, of fulfillment, that I've done everything on my part with that thing, and you release it, that's when you hand over the steering wheel to the divine, to your pure conscious energy. This is it for you now. This is what's remaining is for you to do whatever it's meant for to happen with that thing. And that's exactly what happens. You release it from the ego, it stops being the problem of the ego, because the ego is not meant to figure it all out. And then it becomes for your higher self, it becomes for source, it becomes for the universe to deal with it. And it deals with it way better than you could ever imagine, because that's how it's meant to work. You do your part, but let go of some of your expectations. Let go of some of the tasks you believe you set as limiting conditions between you and that which you seek, because they're not necessarily required. It's just your way of coping, your way of feeling better about yourself, of feeling good, of feeling fulfilled, that you have things to do. That it's your way of justifying that why it's not yet in your life, why you don't yet have that which you seek, because I need to take more steps, I need to do more things. And that's, you feel good, and that's how you feel good, that's how you cope with it. But once you release them, once you truly believe in yourself, once you start creating from as energy creating matter rather than matter creating matter, which is how all of existence was created, you start really reaping the benefits of the magical nature, the divine nature of this existence. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video by AfsConsciousFrequency. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me so much and it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.